Hello everyone and welcome to the Classic Center Foundry Pavilion in the Georgia Hockey D3 channel. My name's Joe Kopsho, joined by Ren Grimsley. After that amazing national anthem by player Julian Penzis on the fourth line today, I think that was a trombone. I'm not no music specialist, Ren, but he skated over and did the national anthem. We're ready to go. Ren, I'll throw it to you, but first, let's do starting lineups for the D3 Georgia Ice Dogs. It's going to be Torrin Smith at left wing, Jack Barry at center, Connor Lebrecq at right wing. The back end made up of Joshua Madison and Andrew Fleming, and in goal, Andrew Mettler. As for the High Point University D3 Panthers, Grady Murphy, Tanner Ripley, Will Clark, Nate Evangelista, and Cole Ringstad make up their group, with Pudelski in goal. Ren, what are your keys to this one as we kick off, as the puck will be dropped?
I think this one's going to be all about the mindset that they have going into this one, coming off of a big win yesterday over this same team. They know that they can do it. They just have to execute, and I'm excited to see how some of these new lines are doing in the lineup.
So, of course, this is day 2 of what will be 3 days for these D3 Ice Dogs. So a little bit difference of lines as they try and rotate everyone through and stay rested, as Kennesaw State will be in town tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on this channel. And first, we have a face-off win and some offensive possession here by the Dogs. Big slap shot from the point, save into the glove of Pudelski. Ren, he got a lot of work yesterday, 53 shots against, 10 went by him, but when you face that many shots, it's maybe good to see one get in the glove early.
Yeah, any coach is going to be happy with 43 saves from your goalie. And he's back in there today, so props to him. I'm sure it was a toll on his body yesterday, so we'll see how he does today.
Yeah, they do have 3 goalies dressing, so it was a bit of surprise to, I think, me more than Ren after seeing that performance yesterday that he was in goal, because I'm sure he wanted an ice pack even despite the freezing cold last night. High Point clears off the Georgia face-off win. Georgia tries to chip it in. They just barely do. No offense comes from it. Flag down and sent into the offensive zone. That's enough for icing, and a quick whistle will send us down to the other man in net, Mettler. Ren, we haven't seen him, but coming off Ringwald's performance yesterday, I mean, you can't get much better, so just trying to match his goalie partner, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got a big position to fill, and it's good to know that if a few do get by him, Ringwald is still right there on the bench if need be, but I don't think it'll come to that.
Yeah, of course, Ringwald pitching the 10-0 shutout yesterday, and his brother Chayton, who we'll see on the second line, actually just received the puck and skates in, scored 2 goals. So good brother duo. He gets past his man. He'll have a shot here. Saved, tipped up in the air. Now on the ground in the high slot. High Point comes away with it, and they'll go the other way. Good job there on a good chance. Step around off the wall. Backhanded shot given up for the wraparound. Pass in the high slot. Didn't find a Panther. And a big hit at the blue line at the Georgia bench. That'll get some stick taps from the Panthers, who otherwise yesterday kind of got physically dominated, Ren.
Yeah, but it was good to see some intensity from both teams, like coming off of that one.
Into the high slot. Sorry to cut you off. A first save of the night for Mettler. That was dangerous. Ren, I think we both thought you had free area to speak, and then just a turnover in the high slot.
I thought so too. It just immediately coming into that slot, like you said, and very unexpected.
We'll look to see both these teams reduce the mistakes. The Dawgs had plenty early, and it kind of was off to a slow start for both the teams. Then these D3 Dawgs were able to kind of eliminate those mistakes and start pouring it on, and didn't really ever stop as they scored 3 goals in the last 2 minutes of the game. And that led to some of that physicality. These teams certainly did not like each other yesterday. So we'll see if that carries over to today, especially if the scoring starts to get potent. Coming up on the near side, but chipped right back in by a High Point. Wooten gives it off to his defensive pairing, Price, who will send it out. Not enough for icing, so the defenseman stops it up. No reason to chase it back, and he dumps it in. Wooten's the first to it, and he'll chip it back out. So no clean offensive possession so far for either team over 2 minutes in here. Dawgs get it on their bench, unable to clear. And this is a little different than what we saw yesterday at the end of the game. Of course, kind of similar to what we saw at the beginning. And there should be a hooking call, and the ref missed it, both on High Point and a retaliation that Price gave. That was in front of the Panthers bench. Big hit here, and losing the puck is Daniel Ostringer. Now a puck makes its way to Mettler. Not dangerous, though, and he'll just cover for the face-off to his right.
And I think one interesting thing about this game is that, like we were saying earlier, there is a game tomorrow morning. So it'll be interesting to see how, obviously we've seen from the coach, he's getting a few guys some rest. Schwannekamp and Casey and Johns getting some rest for today. Is a big game tomorrow against Kennesaw State.
Yeah, that's a game they've had circled on their calendar. Of course, the in-state rivals, I believe one of the only other D3 teams in the state. I would almost argue to say the only other D3 team in the state, but that's more of an AAU college hockey question than it is a Joe Kopsho question. Fleming receives the return pass, a little too far for him, so there'll be a fight at the half wall. Ending up behind the net, another scrum. Right now, High Point trying to establish some physicality. They've come out a little bit more aggressive than the Dawgs have. Clean opportunity here. Wrist shot broken up, and now a breakaway now for the Dawgs. Taken in the boards hard. Good play by the Panthers. We saw Tanner Ripley all yesterday. He was the most mentioned Panther there. Breaks that one up. Pass into the high slot. Backhand can't get off. It'll stay at the line, though. Thrown in towards the net. Hits off the shin. Moving down and saved by Puldelski.
And High Point's coming out really, really strong. They're staying back on that forecheck and haven't allowed a really great shot from the Dawgs yet. However, as you said earlier, yesterday it was a few minutes before the Dawgs got their first goal, so we'll see here as the clock continues to tick.
So a little bit of a wait before the face-off here. We've seen that already a few times, so refs not wanting anyone to start early. Dawgs win. And skating up back towards the blue line. And a bad pass, and this is going to be a chance for High Point. Good skating here, though, by the Dawg. Greg Steckel, his first game, is able to save them from a potentially dangerous 2-on-1. Steckel will receive the puck back in his own end and chip it out of play on accident. I'd be surprised if this came out to neutral ice, but it looks like the refs might be indicating. No, they'll send it next to Mettler.
And Steckel, another one of these guys in because of the 3 back-to-back games, but some great skating there. I mean, he potentially saved a goal score right there as there were 2 High Point guys coming in quickly, but great stop.
Yeah, good job to realize that Hertzlitzka doesn't have the angle there and to skate back hard, especially due to Hertzlitzka's, I apologize, hard name we're not going to get down, but due to his size, 6'2". Shot on net here, finds its way into the pads and 5 holes. Kudelski. Ren, I think he got that one, and then it went off his opposite leg and through. First Georgia goal of the game.
Yeah, it was just a matter of getting a really, really good shot, and that's something the Dawgs hadn't had yet. Most of the shots were from the blue line, but now just causing a little bit of traffic. And we said yesterday, Podolski, when he couldn't really see the puck, that a lot of the times it would go past him, and that was a time where his vision wasn't great on where the puck was at.
Yeah, that one's exactly what the coach means when, hey, we need to get pucks to the net. Just a kind of lackadaisical shot, but Pudelski not expecting it, and it gets through. So the first goal of the game comes from Drew Lannon, and the Dawgs are up early. Scoreboard operator in-house has not changed the scoreboard as that pass in the high slot was broken up. So I'm going to just assume that the Dawgs are up, as obviously that goal not waved off. Now High Point responding well, but this one will come back out to the neutral zone. Good stick check here, creates a turnover. Good job to hold the line by Grenard. Turnover right out in front. Puck bouncing around, and it'll go out of play. And it'll come out to center ice. Ren, that one is relatively close to us.
I can still see it.
I can see it as well.
And Lannon scored the first goal of the game yesterday as well as today, so history seems to be repeating itself in terms of the 2 games thus far. However, Hertzig scored the second goal yesterday, and he's not playing today, so let's hope someone else can knock it in for him.
Hertzig's on camera today. So, got that advantage as he rests tomorrow for KSU. And you're right, Drew Lannon adds now his second of the weekend after only having 1 goal in the previous 4 games. So, good weekend for him. Big hit in center ice. Dog gets sent down in a reverse check, and we'll watch that as they collided again. That's Steckel that initiated the contact, but he got the worst of it. Dawgs get clean possession. They'll look to get out of their own zone. They do, but not before High Point comes back the other way. Some sloppy passes here early on both sides, including that one as Ripley now gets the puck. He'll start some offensive zone time for the Dawgs.
That was Noah Rauch for the Panthers with a big hit in the middle of the ice.
We've seen Rauch do that a couple times, and every time we mention maybe the size difference helps him. He could get a little bit lower. Sits at 5'6", 5'7", but he hits maybe harder than any one of these other Panthers. 3-on-1 opportunity here. Good skating by Wooten to get back. Shot comes in, saved by Mettler. Good job to clear the rebound. It was juicy, but gotten out by, I believe, Torrance Smith. Good job there, as he was the only one back on that 3-on-1. Now High Point coming back the other way again. This time, much easier for the Dawgs defense until a turnover. High slot finds Mettler in the body, rebound out in front, and it somehow gets all the way out to the Dawgs bench and now past the blue line. 2 really good opportunities for the Panthers. Ren, maybe better than anything they saw yesterday.
Absolutely, a 3-on-1 opportunity. You don't get many of those, so that's tough when you don't get to capitalize on it.
Oh, and there was a cross-check here in the back. That's going to be a penalty on the Dawgs. On the back end there, Price laid into his man after, I believe, his partner had gotten hit on the other side. So the retaliation gets the call, and High Point will have a chance to get this one back even.
And we'll see if their man-up has improved any, their power play, that is. They were 0 for 5 yesterday on their own power play. Obviously, they were 0 for the game. but that power play really struggled and really never even got too many great opportunities to score either.
Yeah, this was a power play that really struggled on both sides until the Dawgs started opening up at the back end of the game. But specifically for the Panthers, they had their fair share of chances. Maybe not as many as you'd like to see, because a lot of the time they would draw a penalty and then give one right back, Ren. But the power plays they did have, at some point we almost said the Dawgs wanted to be on the penalty kill. Lebrecht on the 1-on-2. He'll skate in. Good job to just throw it back. No one's there, but that'll give the Dawgs the advantage of killing some more time. Smart play by Lebrecht to kill some time. Now Smith and Lebrecht on the forecheck.
That was a really smart play by Lebrecht to just get the puck back.
High Point now establishing the zone, back to the blue line. Good job by Lebrecht there, but now the pass down low, and a good save by Mettler. He had to kick hard to get over there, maybe overcommitted a little bit, but saved it by kicking out that opposite leg to make the save. Excellent job. That one started from Lebrecht maybe overcommitting, looked like a good idea, but they deked the pass and got it down low.
Yeah, there was a High Point guy on the left side really open. Luckily, he didn't have a great angle, and Mettler was able to get across the crease very, very quickly.
So we apologize again if you weren't here with us yesterday. There's no power play clock in this arena. So Ren and I are purely guessing, and both Ren and I are not math majors. So we are not good enough to do that math of 2 minutes on the fly. I don't mean to speak ill of you, Ren. I'm sure you could. I certainly could not.
I'll let you speak for me on this one.
So High Point looking for any sort of breakout. That was a good chance right next to the goalie, tight angle, but that's been their only of this power play. Now entering the zone. Shot in here, goes off Fleming's leg. Goes around the boards. Now Fleming back with it. He's trying to sky it out of the zone. Good hand here to get it up to the skater alone. Pacheco, 1-on-none. Ooh, shoots high off the crossbar. That's as close as you can get. Excellent shot that beat Pudelski, but couldn't beat his crossbar.
And it's on that blocker side again that he had trouble with yesterday.
Shot coming in here, finds Mettler in his shoulder. He throws it down to the ground. Big hit on the boards. No arm is up. Physical aggression at an all-time high here. What a shot. Iron not favoring Pacheco on the shorthanded opportunity. Dawgs had a shorthanded one yesterday. All right, back to even strength, Ren. Another power play that goes unused for the Panthers. Moving the puck. Saucer pass over, doesn't find anyone. Big shot, tight angle, finds Mettler square in his blocker. Georgia now trying to clear, building off the momentum of the penalty kill. Good stick by the Dawg there. However, High Point throws it off the wall. Good pass back out to neutral ice. Ostringer skating up the right side, near side. cuts high slot, tries to throw one towards the net after being taken down. Now High Point back the other way. There's a man on the back end. The winger will keep it, though, steps through. Now has to operate from behind the net. It goes up the half wall towards the blue line and just kept in. Big hit now in the high slot as the Dawgs come back the other way. Chayton Ringwald with a big hit. Now another big hit on the other side by Steckel. Now in the slot, scored! Just tapped in as that one found its way to Chad, and he doesn't miss that at 1 foot range, Ren.
Yeah, that was some really interesting hockey there. A few big hits, one of them on Alex Vitka of High Point, a big guy, but Chad there, it almost seemed like he was behind the goal and bounced it off of the goalie's legs that knocked it right in. It was a very interesting shot, but continues the Dawgs' 12-0 run between the two games so far on High Point.
Yeah, it was just bouncing around. And Chad was the one to put it in, I believe, on the back end. Might have been 12, might have been 15. Ringwald and Chad were both there digging for it. So we'll try and hear the official PA announcement. It is Ringwald. So Chad was the one that threw it out in front, but Ringwald with the last touch, another opportunity here in the slot. New line out, same success perhaps. Skating around looking for the open man. Pass out in front finds its way into Pudelski's chest. So early here, Dawgs lead 2-0 on a brisk day as the sun sets behind camera. You can kind of see it there, a beautiful sunset.
I have a feeling it's only going to get brisker, Joe.
Yeah, it's about 20 degrees right now, or at least feels like it. Fleming shot from the point, wide, looking for the tip out in front. High point looks to clear. Fleming will be the first to it, actually picked up instead and thrown in the slot. Backhanded shot can't find its way through. And high point will come back the other way. Good skating here, but a better stick check as Fallon lost it. Shot scored. That's High Point's first shot. That was clean, and it beat Mettler for their first goal of this 2-game series. And all of a sudden, Ren, momentum has swung.
And a really, really tough pass right there. I mean, it was on a line to the crease, and he just redirected it. That was number 47, Will Piet, with the goal. Just knocking it right in on a very tough pass.
Yeah, it looked like the Dawgs almost fell asleep in front of the net, as that one likely should have found the stick of some Ice Dogs member. Instead, good pass gets through and put in. So 2-1 here. Panthers have scored their first of the night and first of the series. Ren, how do you look for the Dawgs to respond? Of course, they're playing well, but this is the first time they faced any adversity.
Yeah, I think it's all just going to be mental here. I mean, a couple of big hits. Momentum can swing their way really easily. It's what they've shown the past 2 games.
Wooten lost a tire, and now only one defenseman back. Shot just goes above the crossbar as Mettler had lost it, and it almost beat him shoulder high. Instead, this game remains a small lead for the Dawgs. Good passing now by the Panthers. They've seemed to dug deep and have something new in them. Eye of the Tiger, some would say. Although Panther and Tiger, I'm not sure how closely those genealogies are related. This just gets over the blue line, so they'll have to reset.
And some better passing overall by High Point, really getting it in these slots, and it's what led to their last goal. So it seems to be a higher point, if you will, in this game.
We just made 2 very bad puns in a row, and I'm sure half the audience just tuned out. Lebrecht chasing the puck behind the net, digging for it, comes out, but another stick of High Point is found. Lebrecht tries to tuck it in back end. He gets stood up, and the Dawgs will skate it back out. Clean possession as they look to re-enter the zone. Lebrecht cutting towards the net, one thrown on Poldelski. Lebrecht will be the first to it. Gets reverse checked as this puck will come back out again. Steckel looking for a man. He throws it in, and Dawgs will be back on the forecheck again. Smith the first there. His stick causes it to Lebrecht, and a big hit as Lebrecht gets hit in the back, and that's a penalty. Now Dawgs trying to score on the late penalty. Good save by Poldelski. This one coming back out in front, bouncing around. Still High Point, no clean possession, blockered by Poldelski. He's battling for it. So are the Dawgs, and now they'll say he touched up. As Lebrecht got hit late again.
Lebrecht has been on the ground 3 times in this one shift alone.
He does draw the power play, though.
Seems to have worked out for him on that second time on the ground. And now we'll get to see the Dawgs power play here. The first time of the game for them.
So the man for the Panthers in the box is Dorian Fedorov. He'll think about what he's done for 2 minutes as the Dawgs go on the power play. This is a good chance to respond with just 7 minutes left in the first.
And that first power play will consist of Chad, Ringwald, Barry, Lannon, and Wooten.
Yeah, so a different line, although the defense is a little different, as this isn't kind of the role Wooten plays normally. He's going to play a little bit more higher up, while instead of him going back, it's going to be Barry that kind of plays on that back end. Usually a center, he'll kind of hang back a little bit more. As you can see, Wooten skating in. Now he gets it back. Thrown back down to him. Looks for a pass in the high slot, can't get it through. He'll wrap back around. Pass off the boards up to the point. Looking to distribute. Is Ringwald, he gets it down low. Shot by Barry. Glove save. Oh, off the glove and in. Pudelski got a part of it, but Barry doesn't care as he buries it for the third goal of the night. Pudelski got a little bit of that one, but not enough, Ren.
And that was Barry just finding the open space and taking it. If they're gonna give you all that room to shoot, you might as well get a better angle and a little closer up.
Yeah, excellently placed, glove high, and Pudelski got a little bit of it, caused it to ricochet around, but sometimes as a goalie, when you place, or when a defenseman places a shot that good, can't do anything about it.
And you're asking me how the Dogs were going to respond. I mean, the best way to answer a goal is with a goal.
Yeah. As quick whistle here. So Barry gets his goal. That doubles his season total. So I believe that was a quick offsides call, so Dawgs will have a face-off right in front of us. And the Dawgs try and walk away with it. Instead, High Point will dump it in on Mettler. He should cover, and he does. Smart play there to not try and get too much extra out of that.
And we were talking a lot about the face-offs yesterday, as it was about 50-50. But it seemed to be that the team in the offensive zone struggled a lot more to win their face-off than the team in defense.
And here we see it again as High Point tried to step through off the tie-up. Instead, the Dawgs come away with it. Good pass here. We'll see if they can develop anything. They dump it in. Dawgs will chase. Up to the defenseman. Shot. Blocked out in front as Steckel tried to get one through. Taken off the puck are the Dawgs, and this one will get out to center ice. Steckel has been excellently placed this entire game. He seems anytime a puck comes out even near that blue line that he's the first to it. Now coming back the other way is High Point. Tried to lay a big check in center ice. Was Ransom. He was unable to lay his man out, though, and afterwards, Dawgs committed icing.
And like you said, Greg Steckel playing really, really well, doing the little things right in his first game, so great to see him out there and playing well.
So Dawgs will have another defensive zone draw. They won the last one. We'll see the results of this one as, again, the refs are warning them of misfires, but Dawgs win this one. They send it the other way around the boards. Trying to get it out of their zone. A good keep by High Point, but eventually it does trickle out. High Point, a lot of dump and chase so far, Ren. They've been unable to get really any clean entries besides, of course, their one goal.
And it was those first 4 minutes where they were coming out really strong and actually had some time in their offensive zone. Now they're sort of reverting back to themselves in game one.
Ostricher, good pass in the slot, just missing is the receiving end. Now another pass in the slot, good save out in front by Dietz, by Pudelski. Dietz was the goalie last night for the Clemson Tigers. Calling 3 games in the course of 18 hours is not good for remembering names, Ren.
And you still got a few more.
Still got 2 more. One tonight, of course, on the D1 channel for Georgia hockey, and then KSU tomorrow for these Dawgs. Ostringer skating in, good step around the hip check, however, loses the puck right in front of his goalie. Dangerous play, but able to get away with it. Clark almost committed a turnover right in front of Pudelski. Passing here behind the net, but not going anywhere is High Point. Finally looking for the breakout. Will Clark comes around the other end, and he'll have to skate off. So all that to dump it in and change. Now Dawgs with a bit of errant passing. This one a good one to Lebrecht. Now Lebrecht over to Smith. Smith will dump, and he'll be the first to chase on the forecheck. Long stretch pass broken up. Could have been dangerous. Good play on the back end.
And a lot of fighting in the neutral zone. Both teams dumping and chasing, and just getting that zone, that switch.
Now High Point, a good opportunity here. Walking in, shot high on Mettler, saved. He'll get his stick taps. As that one caught him up high, good job to take away the near post.
Yeah, he stood up for that one to get the save, which is a little unnormal, as usually they'll try and flash the leather to seem cool, but Mettler just worrying about the goal not going in.
Yeah, there you would have to come around with the glove. As, of course, that near post on his blocker side. It's a good idea to just take it into the body. This one just misses wide of him. High Point out in front, though. Good bounce for them. Can't throw anything on goal yet, though. Right next to Mettler. He's looking to stick check right out in front of a good cover. Some solid goalkeeping here so far from Mettler. Not scared at all, taking some high pucks into his body, and, of course, they're jumping on a loose puck.
And this has been the best, probably, offensive time for High Point this game. They've gotten a few shots and a couple ones sitting right in the crease that they just couldn't been able to knock in.
Now they get a face-off win. This one bounces dangerously, but goes wide of Mettler. Dawgs looking to clear. They'll be able to. However, this will be icing. Actually waved off. So fight in the corner. It's sent around the boards, and High Point will be the first there. Good pass here. A 2-on-2 opportunity develops to a 2-on-3. Good step around. Pass into the slot. Scored! Beautiful piece of work by High Point, as the step around by Ian Brown resulted in an easy finish for Fallon.
That was, again, another pass coming from that left side. That one's a little different, though, as, like you said, he stepped around to get that one. And another shelf shot, or I guess their first shelf shot. And that one, not much Mettler could do about it unless he was taking up the entire goal space, which he was just unable to.
Yeah, that was certainly a defensive breakdown for the Dawgs, as Brown just stepped around his defender and laid one right on the tape of Fallon. Really, all he had to do was have any forward momentum of his stick to put that in. Excellent job by High Point. We have a game here, 3-2, with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first. Good pass by Grenard, but can't find the tape of his partner Mackin. Now walking into the high slot, good stick, as there was a big hit right in front of the Panthers bench. Still in the high slot, another man laid out as Pacheco hit the ground. High Point clean shot on Mettler. It goes just wide. Got a piece of that, did Mettler. That was a good opportunity, Ren. Just the man with the snapshot had to face Mettler. Mettler stood strong that time.
And just a bad pass by Fleming on that one. It's basically a turnover in their offensive zone.
Wooten, big slap shot right into the shin of the man in front of him. That one's got a sting on Kavitka. Some of these names are not announcer friendly. It's just Vitka. Got to take a little extra time to read, I think. I do. 90 seconds remaining here as this puck gets chipped up into the bench. As there's a dap up on the Panthers bench.
Yeah, I thought that was a little chirping at first, and it might have been a little friendly chirping, but
I think he was giving Penzis a high five for his national anthem remix on the trumpet, or excuse me, trombone.
He deserves a high five for that.
Yeah, he had starting lineups called and then skated over from the bench. Shot here from the high slot. Rebound juicy, but it finds Puldelski. He'll throw it to the corner. That was a dangerous opportunity. Dawgs just missing there.
And Ostrager just didn't have much time to find an angle or deke out the goalie on that one as the defensemen were coming in hot.
Here a battle in the neutral zone for the puck. 60 seconds remaining here in the first period. A good game, 3-2 between the Dawgs and High Point. Ostringer receiving the puck in center ice. Tries to come back around his man. Not a good idea, as now the Panthers skate cleanly in. They've been very efficient whenever they can skate in like this and not dump in. Now the Dawgs come back the other way. Tries to make a move into the high slot, but Jack Barry couldn't complete it. Now Ian Brown had the amazing assist, shoots high. Now we've got a bit of physicality and speed picking up in the last 20 seconds. Barry with the puck. He'll just dump it down. Not an excellent pass or move. And now Panthers come the other way. Good toe drag. However, didn't result in anything. Now a shot from the high slot will bounce in the corner. 5 seconds remain. The Dawgs will likely pin it to the boards. They will. And that'll be the end of the first period. It was a good one, 3-2, as the Dawgs just lead the Panthers. Hopefully an exciting 20 more minutes will be coming up in the second period. For Ren Grimsley, I'm Joe Kopsho. Welcome back as we are set to begin second period action. I'm Joe Kopsho. Ren, why don't you give us the recap of the first?
So far, very different on the scoreboard, as it's 3-2 with goals by Lannon, Ringwald, and Barry for the Dawgs, and Federiv and Fallon for High Point. Still anyone's game here going into the second.
So Dawgs will have to play a little bit harder, perhaps, than they played yesterday. Is this one much closer at this point in time?
Some of that could be the new line changes. Some guys who've never played together playing together, and obviously losing a lot of offensive talent.
So just a scrum here. High slot shot will find its way through to Poldelski. However, he's able to turn it away at the blue line. Wooten keeps it. No real movement here, no clean shots on either side, as Lebrecq is able to give this one off, and he'll change as a new set of Dawgs comes on. Remember, in the second period, you have the long change, shot out in front, never found its way through. Tries to pass it to Chad in the slot. Instead, High Point comes away with it, and they'll have their first rush of the period. Quickly cleared out of the zone, no. This won't be enough for icing. Dawgs skating hard. Ringwald comes up with it, drops it, but it's intercepted, and Ian Brown comes the other way. Brown skating faster than perhaps anyone on the ice, finds his way in the high slot. Chip shot just goes wide. Center around the boards, and it'll be Steckel who walks away with it. Good pass, and now the Dawgs come the other way. Pass to Ringwald. Ringwald tries to let one loose, but it's blocked. And now a fight on the half wall. Puck sent around the boards, and the Panthers come away with it cleanly. It'll just get out of the zone. Steckel will chip it back in. Dawgs will get a partial change as High Point tries to come back the other way. Pacheco gives it off, and Mackin chips it in. Dawgs will look to establish something, and it's getting by Pacheco. Shot here. Poldelski turns it away with his blocker. Good opportunity, Ren, in the low slot, just turned away.
Yeah, Podolski was in the right place at the right time, as that pass right across the crease could have been an easy tip in, but he got across the crease really well. Podolski did.
Now Mackin chasing. However, High Point able to send it around the boards. And a shot from a tight angle finds its way through. Again, we have seen some interesting goals we didn't expect it to get through. Another one. This time it looked like Madison at the tight angle shot, and Pudelski just got caught sleeping.
Yeah, that's the second goal of this game for the Dawgs. That's been almost a zero angle, as that one coming nearly from the goal line. And it just seems like Pudelski wasn't able to get a stop on that one. And another goal for the Dawgs as they score early in the second period.
So face-off at center ice as the Dawgs get back the 2-goal lead. Panthers win the face-off as they try and stick tight in this one. Every time the Dawgs have gone ahead, they've seemingly responded, as that one found its way to Mettler. And this one will go all the way down for icing.
And High Point's been unable to get in their own offensive zone so far. Up until now, they'll have a face-off in the offensive zone. But as we've said earlier, they haven't done super well on breakaways. Haven't gotten many opportunities. They've been most efficient when they have a few minutes in their own zone to get some shots off and move the puck.
So the Panthers win this one. Shot thrown at Mettler is wide. Looking for the tip was the defenseman at the point. Dawgs come back the other way, chipped up in the air, and I believe that'll be a hand pass. I don't think intentional by Ransom, but I think he was the one that grabbed it, and Penzis was the one that touched it.
Yeah, in tight zones like that, sometimes there can be a little miscommunication, but they've got to know that whoever touches it with their hands is going to have to be the one to touch it next. Otherwise, it will be called a hand pass every time.
This shot to Mettler is thrown off his blocker. Good job by the Dawgs to be there and not let up a rebound. Bad attempt at a pass by High Point. This one chipped up the boards and comes back out near camera. Fleming, bad pass. Now he's going to have to be the man back. This stick check by Fleming keeps that shot wide. Another shot doesn't find its way to Mettler. Pass into the high slot. Only Dawgs home, and they chip it out. Lebrecht skating hard. On the forecheck, skittering puck, and Lebrecht's going to be the first to it. Now in the corner, he's fighting for it, throws it out in front, but nobody was there. Fleming's able to keep the line as the Dawgs battle for it. Barry takes his man into the wall. Now looks for a tuck on the back end. Puck will come out again to the blue line. This time Wooten able to keep it in. Smith was the one to try and get the puck, but it comes all the way to Wooten. Good pass to his teammate as Smith drops it off the other side, but a touch by Wooten, or excuse me, Barry just goes a little too far. Good job by the Dawgs to at least regain the neutral zone puck, but really have been unable to do anything offensively. Now Wooten skates in. His shot turned away by the defenseman as it bounced off his body. Price throws it back into the zone. But High Point, again, establishing control relatively quickly. This puck, well enough for icing, as we'll have another stoppage of time.
And part of the reason for that lack of scoring chances is because these passes have really not been great. I don't think either team has been able to complete 3 passes without a turnover and certainly no true possession of the puck by either side in the last few minutes.
So Dawgs win this faceoff. Quick shot off the draw. I think goes off the arm blocker of Pudelski. Now thrown out in front, blockered away by the defenseman as it kicked off his skate and went to the half wall. High Point's able to clear, and they're almost playing like they're on the penalty kill as they throw it down again for another icing on the other side of the rink.
And now the Dawgs back in their own offensive zone. See if they'll be able to get one in. They've been playing well in times like this. Whenever it's sort of going back and forth, they can find momentum. However, it looks like the faceoff is coming back out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, the refs have decided they're going to drop this one at center ice. I'm a little unsure of why, as it looked kind of clear that that was an icing. However, refs will say they made a mistake, and the man in the middle, Pacheco, looks content with the explanation he received before he goes for this draw. The refs have been very particular tonight, Ren, about how these draws work, don't you think?
Yeah, they've been making sure guys are in the exact correct spot where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, not in the circle as this one comes out to the low slot. They don't want any false draws, although we've seen a couple as a tire is blown in center ice. Good job by Steckel to make up the ground. This pass, a stretch pass intended by the Dawgs, and this is the first time High Point has established the offensive zone this period. They get a shot off, and interestingly enough, it found its way to Mettler. He dropped his stick to cover with his blocker arm instead of his glove hand. Don't see that too often.
Not at all. That's a good way to maybe lose a finger, but it worked for him there, and now High Point, like you said, with a chance in their offensive zone.
I think the intent of Mettler was to use his stick to pull it into him, but I think he accidentally lost control for just a second, as this should be icing, and it is. So a little bit of back and forth icings here, as neither team seems content with just trying to outskate the other right now.
There's probably been more face-offs this 6 minutes of game time than any other 6 minutes in history of hockey.
Dawgs will win this draw, get it back to their defenseman, and up the wing until it's sent out. This time a little less power on the clear, so no icing as High Point regroups. And their regrouping pretty much immediately ends as it goes into the bench.
And another
Yeah, these
frozen puck.
These are a lot of whistles. Refs are certainly getting the use of their lungs as they've been on that whistle plenty of times so far this period.
Maybe they're getting paid per whistle.
What a life that would be. I hope one day I get paid per word. That would be an excellent living for me, as this one is chipped out of the zone by High Point. Had to fight for it a little bit, but are eventually able to send it into their offensive zone. Interesting to see High Point finally try and establish some time without the dump and chase. However, Smith picks it off, now rushing the other way. Good pass over to Barry. Barry waits on the shot, now looks to wrap around, but is unable to get anything into the slot. There, I think Barry just has to let that one loose like he did earlier. Now Brown coming the other way. Good pass, but couldn't be received in the high slot. Smith with the puck in the far corner. He'll send it up the boards. An attempt to get it to Barry, but no tape was touched on the stick, and instead we'll have another whistle for icing.
And if Barry could have just held on to that wraparound around the goal, LeBrecq was waiting right there at the crease with basically an empty net as Podolsky was pinched to that left side of his. However, losing the puck in a strong defense from the High Point.
Georgia wins the face-off and walks right through. However, they immediately lose it. Hit in front of the bench turns into a shot that Mettler just got. He didn't look confident in how he got that one saved, but a save nonetheless. Now Barry coming the other way. This should be a full-scale change for the Dawgs as Barry laid a full hit and will now skate off, and it is. Comes out of the zone, but icing waved off as they'll say Madison touched it. He now receives the puck. Looking for a stretch pass, will instead dump it back off, but a bad pass has to be covered by Mettler.
And a good move by Mettler to cover up that one, as there were some High Point guys lurking around the crease just waiting for that bad pass to come. And now they'll get to regroup a little bit and be at full strength in their own zone.
So 12 minutes and 23 seconds remain in this second period. Shot off the draw for High Point, hits off his own man. Out in front, blown tire here, and a couple men down on the ice and a little bit of a scrum. This pass in the slot kicked away, and now it'll go down. Icing waved off as it's beaten out. Dawgs look to establish something. No shot comes through as it goes off the defender. Puck's behind the net now. Will trickle to the half wall. And again, puck back out to neutral ice. High Point with a chance here, however, couldn't find the stretch pass they wanted. And another man goes down, this time Lannon, and now a big check into the wall. Dawgs have clean possession. They'll look to keep it, but taken off and brought into the wall. That was hard, as the man lost control of the puck and then was just upended. And they were tangled up in each other. Still getting up, are they? We'll keep an eye on that as the puck is in the Georgia offensive zone. Grenard tries to lay a hit, but gets avoided, and he went hard to the boards. I was going to say, Ren, the physicality was kind of lacking this period, but so far in the past minute or so, it's been brought back.
Yeah, I was going to agree with you up until that point.
That slap shot goes wide.
That was Grady Murphy, though, with a big hit, showing that he's a big body and he's a great goal scorer and is willing to lay a hit.
Stretch pass, not a good idea, as there were three men circling neutral ice for High Point. This time, a pass up the boards will just find its way to High Point. And so far, after the Georgia goal in this period, it's kind of been 50-50 either way. No team threatening. Georgia has a chance here, though, and it finds its way to Podolsky. I don't know if he ever saw that one as it went off the side of the net. Mackin throws it towards net. No one even relatively close, as Dawgs were caught in a change. This will be icing, as Fleming is going to be the only one to chase it back and get the whistle blown, and the Dawgs will have a draw in their offensive zone.
And even more icings just coming and coming. And
Indeed.
We'll be back in this offensive zone for the Dawgs, and they'll keep trying to find these slots and these open passes, but so far can't make enough in a row to get the defense moving.
Yeah, it's been a relatively quiet period, although that shot by Madison almost found its way through as there was traffic out in front. Instead, High Point comes back the other way. Nicholas Fallon just dived for that one. Don't see that too often as the Dawgs try and break out, but again, just not crisp passing from the defensive spots for these Dawgs when they look to break out. Now High Point has some good possession here. The first time they've really had some time unpressured on the puck. Looking for a clean shot. High slot. Mettler saves it. It's cleared for now, and now Fleming will be the one to skate it out. He gets it to the other side, and he skates down the right wing, waiting to see the pass. He gets it, but just can't turn it enough towards goal as it goes wide. Penzis with a good pass, but just too far out in front for Fleming. Now Penzis steps around, brings his man hard in the boards, clean shoulder check. Using his opponent's momentum against him. This pass in the high slot, not found. Big hit in the high slot, though, on, I believe, Lebrecq, and we'll have a whistle here. We'll see. I believe it was on that hit, perhaps on Lebrecq, Ren.
Yeah, there were a few big hits there. One from Tanner Ripley, who we talked about a lot yesterday. That was probably his first big moment of the game so far.
But, yeah, it's Cole Ringstad who heads in. So Dawgs will be on a power play.
And we'll get to see some more power play action, which has been, as we've said a few times now, a little lacking from both sides. Neither team has really been a dominant team on the power play.
Dawgs win this face-off. They choose to settle the puck, although that pass finds the puck on its edge. Back up to the point. Barry passes over on the other side, receives it again. He'll throw it down low. Now around the boards to Wooten. Wooten back up to his man, Chad, up top. Chad lets one loose. It found its way, but blockered away. I think that one got tipped out in front. Good job by Pudelski to stay strong. Barry skates it in. Looking for a pass. Good pass in the slot. Didn't find anything but a High Point skate that kicked it out. Chad throws it down the wall, and now he tries to keep it in. Shot here goes high. Wooten on the other side will be the man to keep it in this time. He looks for a pass, then goes down the wall. Back up to Wooten. Wooten will let one rip. This one just wide, bouncing out in front and skied. Just kept in play. I'm not sure how, as that one just missed a couple feet high. This shot looked like a pass for the back door that no one was home for. Now Chad looking to make his pass. He throws it in the high slot. Again, it will find its way to Pudelski, and he'll cover.
And they did a couple times what I think they should be doing, which is taking those defensemen. In that case, it was Chad and Wooten who were playing up top and just slinging it at the goal from the blue line and hoping you get a tip in, as the High Point defenders are slumping down really low and not allowing the forwards down there to get the puck. If you just send it straight in and try and get a tip or a lucky bounce, which we've seen a couple times, a few lucky bounces, you'll get one in.
Dawgs here with clean possession off the face-off win. Shot just goes wide and high. Good opportunity there in the low slot. This pass, an errant one, as the power play 2 unit now on. We'll have to regroup. The pass back to Mackin. No one pressures him, as High Point will be content to just try and defend their own zone. Mackin skates in. Drop pass to the man behind him. Now thrown down behind the net, looking out in front for any sort of pass. Instead, we'll go cross-ice, shot, sticked away, and out of play. So that ends the penalty, and Dawgs don't get anything on their power play.
No, but I really like the way they moved the puck on that power play. I think that was one of the better ones that we've seen from them in a long time.
So Dawgs will look to try and get something going, even though they're not on the power play now, as they scored early this period. Since then, nothing going for either side, although, of course, on that power play, lots of possession. Instant whistle, and now a little scrum in front of the Georgia bench. And it looks like a player stepping in between his teammate and the Dawgs to kind of settle things down.
And that's dangerous for the team that's not in front of their own bench, as you're significantly outnumbered, but nothing happened there, really. It's just a few shoves and some talking.
Yeah, the talking persisted even a little while longer. So that puck just hit the bench, and then there was a check after it had left. So that left people a little upset. We apologize for the camera issues. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a difference when you're a man down on your squad and two people running everything. So we'll try and get that fixed as fast as we can. As High Point skated in and lost a save. Good glove save by Mettler. Just kind of threw that one out there. So we've had Ren now leave his color commentator role to try and figure out the camera, as that's his usual role when the other broadcaster is here. As that was a weird bounce, so it'll go into High Point's defensive zone, and the Dawgs will be on the forecheck. Good saucer pass as Brown receives it. He'll skate in again, tries to step in the high slot. The puck will bounce harmlessly past Mettler, though. Pacheco will skate it in for the Dawgs. Again, another spot where they try and go around the goal instead of operating out in front, trying to use their physicality instead of the finesse that we know they possess. Pacheco will be the first to it, but High Point will walk away with it. Turnover now in the high slot. Mackin's shot doesn't get lifted off the ground. Easy save, and now Fallon comes the other way. He's outskated by Price, though, who's able to throw a body. Goes off the side of the net for Mettler. Fallon fighting all alone. Gets a shot away, but Mettler able to cover. So Dawgs lose the face-off. However, High Point quickly loses control of the puck, so it goes to center ice. Fleming laid out after getting rid of it. Now he tries to relay the boom, but gets reverse hit. Dawgs are able to clear. It's been all High Point in the last 2 minutes. And a little bit of pushing and shoving right in front. Dawgs look to establish some offensive zone time, but they've been struggling so far. Now a 3-on-2 if the Panthers hurry. They'll just throw it at Mettler. He's able to block it away. He thought he had it. Instead, it bounces into the corner. Now back out in front. Pass high slot shot right into Mettler. He's trying to cover. Puck still bouncing around, and finally gets a whistle. That was Mettler's best save of the night, as he was able to stop the original one, and a good pass in the high slot was a 1-on-0. And Mettler's a little more than a nil, I would say there.
Oh, absolutely. Mettler's best save is they found a really good open spot right in the slot, and Mettler just staying big and not needing his glove or blocker for that one, just taking it right in the chest.
I want to thank you, Ren, for fixing the camera.
My pleasure.
Everyone loves a multi-dimensional man that can do anything. Here, Barry with the shot right into the chest. thrown in the corner, now in the slot, but harmlessly taken away by High Point. Ren, I would call you a jack of all trades and a master of all, as the shot on Metler came from above the blue line. So High Point's way off, as Metler had just played the puck, so Panthers tried to catch him sleeping. Bad stretch pass here.
You're too nice to me, Joe.
I think I'm just nice. Oh, Metler. Ronald Acuna at the wall impression as Metler threw up his glove and pulled it down. I don't even think that was going high.
That's just
the very best for the Dawgs. That was hitting crossbar.
That's just having a great reaction time there, and I don't see how he saw that and was able to get his glove out as far as he did, because his arm couldn't have extended any longer.
Great job. Couple of great saves, and I think this could be a 4-3, 4-4 game right now, if not for Metler's heroics in the past 5 minutes. Dawgs have been shut down offensively as of late, something we haven't seen this entire weekend, and hit high was landed. I think he didn't get the benefit of a call there, as arms were up for offsides, and now a big hit as Steckel lays his man out. Oh, and there'll be a whistle blown for that one.
Yeah, a whistle was called, but I mean that'll rile up a team like any other, and both teams.
Now the High Point Panther has taken off his helmet. That's Will Clark. He was getting into it yesterday, of course, as I think everyone was on both these teams. And I didn't get to see too much of that Steckel hit, but it didn't look totally unclean. But right in front of the bench, not the cleanest hit in the world. That'll be a call almost every time. So,
yeah, and the puck wasn't really around them when it was happening, so they'll probably call that.
I think refs make a good call here. Now Georgia will be on the penalty kill. So Panthers have all this momentum, have shut down these Ice Dogs. Now they have a chance to put one on the board. Brown looks cross ice. It finds its way through. Metler gets a piece of it and sends it wide. Dawgs try and come back the other way. Bad decision as the turnover. Metler just blockers it away with his arm. Now taken out. Panthers looking for a call, and they get one. That's going to be a 5-on-3.
And we saw a few seconds of a 5-on-3 yesterday, but to no avail for the Panthers. But Metler looking like an old school goalie out there as he's throwing his body all over the place and coming out of the crease and diving. And it's impressive to watch.
And this is a good timeout by the Georgia bench, because they've got just 3 minutes about left in this period, and they're going to attempt to somehow kill off this penalty. It's not even a short 5-on-3, Ren. It's about 100 seconds. So,
yeah, they're going to want their best 3 guys out there to be as rested as they can, and they're obviously going to want to have a few people if a switch comes, but they're going to want some time to talk it over and know what they're going to be doing on this 5-on-3.
So Ren and I are going to take a short break. I've been Joe Kopsho, of course, joined by Ren Grimsley on the D3 channel. Just a short one, so we can try and warm up from the cold. So Ice Dogs have made their decisions on how they want to play this. It's going to be Wooten, Price, and did you see who's in the draw there, Ren?
No.
Can't make out the number. It looks like 1-5. We'll see if that's Chad. It's actually Lebrecht. So Lebrecht, Wooten, and a good job by Wooten to get rid of that one. Lebrecht was hoping to get a touch on it and maybe kill some more time. So Lebrecht, Wooten, and Price are going to have this summit to try and top. A hard job here. They'll set up the triangle as High Point commits their passing. Shot here from Fallon. Looked out for a tip in the high slot. Couldn't get one. Lebrecht sells out to try and clear. He'll have to get back now. Pass cross ice, skating in. Metler, good save. Kicks off the glove and into the corner. Metler, certainly right now, man of the second period. High slot pass, goes to the other side of the wall. Now this one, backdoor, just a bad shot. Ian Brown had all the space in the world and couldn't convert, Ren.
Ian Brown just missed it by a few feet, but a few feet's a lot when you have basically the entire net open on that one.
Yeah, and Brown's been so good on night. Here he comes in, skates in, drop pass, but can't get it done, and it'll escape the blue line again. Now Torrance Smith has replaced Lebrecht in that forechecking role at the top of the triangle. Still Wooten and Price back as they can't get off on the long change. Smith out of position. Wooten skated by. Metler, good blocker save into the corner. Just about 15 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Pass back up to the slot, high slot. Now back down. Couldn't be turned in on Metler. They'll see if they can pin this to the wall. They can't. High point diving, saved by the blocker. Metler able to not cover but knock it down. Now the man out of the box. He's going to have a breakaway. It's going to be Steckel. Shot on goal. Just goes wide.
Steckel with almost a huge momentum shift, but now a 2-on-0 coming up here.
And now they convert, so they can't score on the 5-on-3. However, they don't miss on the 2-on-0 as the Panthers make this a one-point game. Good passing back and forth, give and go as Fallon adds one to make it 4-3.
And they didn't stay back on that, and they let the high point guys get in between, get past them, heading back to their offensive zone. And a quick 2-on-0 is, you better not miss that, you know?
And that's a killer for the Dawgs, as they thought they'd killed out a 5-on-3. Just a couple seconds of the 5-on-4, as I think that will go down on a power play. I didn't see if the man had left the box yet. So they thought they had it done, and then the Panthers just beat them at the back end. So Panthers will win the draw, and with just under a minute left, they'll try and tie this one up. This has been a heck of a showing, Ren, from a team that got dominated yesterday, 10-0.
Yeah, I was almost expecting a similar score, especially when the Dawgs got up 2-0 in the first period, but High Point's been fighting, and they've been scoring.
High Point looks like a different team as that backdoor pass is intercepted. Good step around. Now pass on the other side, and just a bad touch by Bernard, who can't keep it in. Good stick lift by Mackin to let Fleming clear. Offsides is High Point. They touch it nevertheless, so the draw will come out as the Panther, Marchiota, just couldn't keep up. That puck looks so good when it's right out in front of you, even when you're offsides. Got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
So tempting to just keep going and hope the ref doesn't notice, but they'll notice every time.
This ref, every time on the back end, has had complaints with the left winger stepping up into the circle. Every single face-off. If it wasn't cold enough, he's trying to extend this one longer. This puck goes out of play, so we'll just have under 10 seconds left.
That'll be about time for maybe one more shot for High Point.
Yeah, High Point will try and likely send men at the net. We'll see if they try a step through or send this back for a big slap shot and hopefully get traffic out in front for them. Instead, they'll actually just play this straight up. So we'll see what the idea is as Sanderson skates in at center. Now Ripley repositioned himself a little bit as the Dawgs have 3 out in front, so they're expecting some traffic. As we'll wait our customary 20 seconds for this ref to drop the puck.
He's taking his time. He's enjoying it seems.
And he finally drops it when no one was ready. So Ripley, who won it, all he could do was send it relatively close. Pass out in front, a good stick by Metler kept it away, and that'll be the end of the period. So Metler shows strong, however, one on each side gets through. After 40 minutes, it's 4-3. An exciting finish expected after this second intermission. Thanks for watching on the Georgia Hockey D3 channel. For Ren Grimsley, I'm Joe Kopsho. Welcome back to the Georgia Hockey D3 channel. I'm Joe Kopsho, joined by Ren Grimsley. And before we start the third period, which should be a good one, Ren, why don't you run us through the second?
Yeah, very close game still. Going into the third period with 2 goals from the Dawgs by Barry and Madison, and another goal by Fallon for High Point. That's his second of the night. It's been a little less aggressive in the second period. Some sloppier play, especially at the beginning, but I'm excited for this third period, and it's still anybody's hockey game here.
Yeah, so players are on the ice. We'll take a short break as everyone gets into position, and then we'll be right back for third period action in a 1-goal game. So hopefully this period we'll have a mostly level camera and now a white camera instead of a beautiful San Diego sunset.
I thought it was nice and pretty, but a little less accurate as to what it looks like here.
Yeah, actually Athens, Georgia kind of looks like that. The entirety of Athens, Georgia kind of looks like that duotone filter they put whenever like people are in Mexico in TV shows. That orange tint. So we've started. Our clock hasn't started, though, because my hands are cold and I forgot to touch the button. Just pretend like it did. And it is freakishly cold in Athens. We'll have Ren give us a temperature update in a while, whether it's just off statistics or just vibes.
I looked it up earlier. It feels like 18 right now.
So not great conditions, and I'm sure if anyone's watching from the North Carolina mountains, as indicated by High Point University, you're probably saying, oh, that's not that bad at all. Well, I would beg to disagree. So, Dawgs here establishing some offensive zone time as they fight for the corner. Comes back up as the defense comes down to keep that one in, as Steckel, who's played a great game, was the one to keep it in. High Point looks to clear, fake clear. Now they look to actually, and that was the mistake. Shot comes in, but it bounces off a skate. Now coming in looking for the slot pass, and again, off a High Point skate. So just by their little boots are they keeping that out of the slot, as there was a big hit laid in front of the Panthers bench. As Fallon will turn and take a shot, he's all alone. However, the shot kept it at the blue line, pass over, caught in a change, but Lebrecq able to get back and cause some pressure and thus create a turnover. Coming and skating through the middle, he'll look for a penalty as he was taken out, but no refs with their arm up as the Dawgs now come and look to get something going and establish a bigger lead. Ringwald steps around his man, but a good little push creates him some space and loses the puck. No icing here as the man got a touch, and Mettler almost caught out of position playing it. Instead, the puck will be bouncing around behind him.
And Lebrecq was back in his favorite spot, which is on the ground.
Ooh, that's a mean call, Ren. You might be dealing with the consequences of that one later. I'm
just saying, he's been on the ground several times today. Nothing wrong with that. That's where he seems to be playing the puck, but...
All righty, Ren. Whatever you say as this puck goes out of play into the Panthers bench. Just don't expect any help from me later.
I think I can take care of myself with this one.
Ooh. Some fighting words, Ren.
Not fighting words, just
you're a color commentator. You're doing your job.
I'm calling it like it is.
I'm proud of you. You've learned a lot from me. Nothing positive, of course, but a lot nonetheless. That shot looking for a tip out in front, tipped, but all the way out to the blue line. Good cross-ice pass here from High Point. The shot, Mettler saw it the whole way, and with how he's playing tonight, Ren, if he sees it the whole way, he's going to save it almost every time.
Yeah, he's been having some really great saves, as a lot of the ones that have gone in have not really been his fault. Several of them have been really great passes through the defense.
Yeah, there was two recent for High Point in which he just didn't have a chance. As this one is sticked away by his defender, Wooten, out in front of him. High Point looking to get possession in the corner. They come up with it, calling for the pass at the point is Schleibner. He throws it out in front. However, Dawgs come away with it. They skate down the other end and throw one in on the other goalie, Pudelski, who's also had a good game. Two of the goals he let up, he'll obviously not want to put on his highlight reel, but besides that, especially for now, going on 100 shots, Ren, over the past 2 days, pretty good.
Absolutely, and he gave up 10 yesterday, only 4 so far. He's been playing much better.
This shot found its way right into his glove. He positioned it perfectly. Not a bad shot from the Georgia defenseman, Steckel, who laid into that one, but good job on the glove side by Pudelski. And we don't have the official stats up here, or I should say down here, as never mind, 2-0 the other way for High Point. Good chance to tie it. They just miss high. Puck doesn't take a favorable bounce for them, so they'll have to fight for it instead. It comes out of the zone. That was dangerous, but I was going to say we don't have the official stats, so no way to know the exact shot count, but against Pudelski, it's got to be at 100 or higher, I would say. This shot doesn't find its way to Mettler as it just drifts wide. Now looking for the backdoor pass, a good stick from the defenseman. Again, that's Steckel. We mentioned all night he was able to lift it and keep away a good shot, and then the puck is roofed.
Another thing I'm excited about for this third period is that the Ice Dogs, this D3 team, has never played a close game like this in the third period. 2 big wins against Eastern Kentucky last week and a big win against High Point yesterday, 10-0. So it'll be interesting to see how they play in this third period with very little to separate the scores.
Now coming up this right side is Ringwald. He loses the puck. We've seen him try and do that a couple times. Yesterday it worked out once or twice. Tonight it's kind of been shut down. This stretch pass will miss everyone and result in icing. I think you're exactly right. This D3 Dawgs team hasn't played a close game in the lead, at least. Their 3 victories you mentioned, all kind of blowouts. They played a close one in the third and overtime, I believe, with Kennesaw State, in which they were not victorious. So they'd like to get that sour taste out of their mouth in terms of close games and put High Point away for the season's or series sweep. Back to the point. A good shot here, but it goes off the back of the Panther. That one looked like it hurt, as it was Ringstad caught up high in the head and neck area. Hopefully he's okay. We saw him as soon as he took that puck, leaning back and reaching for his neck, and that's an offsides as Steckel tried to establish the zone and lost it, and it popped back out. It's a long shift from Steckel, Ren. A good shift, but a long one.
Absolutely, and that offsides was a little close. I think it was the right call, but it was probably hard to tell for the players if they were onside or not.
Yeah, this blue line, especially right on camera, as you can see now, is extremely hard to see. It's not exactly the easy blue line to point out. The other one a little bit better. Turnover here now in the high slot. Good job by Mettler to be aggressive and throw his stick at it. We've seen him do that all night, be aggressive when he needs to and be smart and cautious on the other end. That time he needed to get out there and he poked at the corner.
Yeah, that was a great poke, and a lot of times when goalies try and go for that, they end up getting a tripping call or some other call like that. Luckily, Mettler stayed right on the puck, and a great cheer from his bench.
So Torrin Smith comes up clean with the puck off the face-off. He'll take it to the corner. He throws it out in front, but Pudelski saves it. This shot, ooh, Pudelski got some part of it as it was right out in front for Connor Lebrecq. Best opportunity of the third period so far.
And now a switch for both teams, all 10 players on the ice coming on and off, as there will be some fresh legs for both teams. And now we're going to see a face-off here. We'll see if the referee, like he always has been, is going to talk to the guys behind him.
So this game will start back up off the face-off. Good opportunity here. Backhand tried to roof it. Grenard couldn't lift it at all. Bad turn of events as Dawgs have had a couple chances here. This one, a good one that gets through, but right into the glove of Pudelski. If you can't see the stream, that is on your end, unfortunately, as we've checked multiple times, and it is streaming. So we apologize if we have some errors on this free YouTube stream. We're very cold and, of course, trying our best, but this one I don't think is on us. Puck will be entered in the offensive zone, a High Point. Big check. Now out in front of the high slot, just sticked away by Mettler. I think that one would go wide. But a good job nonetheless to turn it away. Now Dawgs come back the other way. Bad pass just out in front of Mackin. He tries to skate onto it. Instead, it's cleared. Offside are the Dawgs, and they'll have to turn around before they come back and enter the zone. Here they go. Although it goes nowhere as big body blows are starting to pick up again, Ren.
Yeah, and that's likely going to happen as we get closer and more desperate.
Mackin, good step around, good move. Almost shelved it as he got tripped up by the goalie. That was an amazing move, Ren, as he got around his defenders in a good shot that I think might have nicked off the crossbar in that corner where the posts meet.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when you have a great move like that.
Toe drag shot. Mettler turns away with his blocker. Ooh, good shots on both ends. Now Mackin, after that good shot, will just dump it in, and that'll be icing. He's not allowed to change, as, of course, on an icing, all the original skaters have to stay on.
And I guess I can say for both sides, it's unfortunate when you have a great move that doesn't work out your way, when it just nicks the post, like you said. And two really, really great opportunities for both teams, and whichever team gets a goal is going to greatly shift the momentum of this game. As a 2-goal game, it would be hard to come back for High Point, but a tied game, it would be excellent.
Also, of course, Ren, you know this, as this one's saved by Mettler. He covers up. A good shot, but right into Mettler. You know this, Ren, is, not to hurt you a little bit, but a Predators fan, that a 2-goal lead is also never safe.
Yeah, so the Dallas Stars came back down 2 goals with 13 seconds left and 1 in regulation. So
I'm glad you knew what I was referencing. So
absolutely.
I'm proud. So even if the Dogs add on, they need to be strong. This shot off the crossbar and scored. So talking about a goal and a 2-goal lead, instead it's High Point the other way. Excellent shot from the point, goes off the crossbar. All Ian Brown has to do is clean it up for a 4-4 game.
And that was just a snipe from the blue line. We had a great angle. We could see it from the whole way as it traveled to the net, and it hit the top crossbar, came back, and fell right into the goal.
What a job from really everyone. If you want to give out the assist, Ren, that's Ringstad. We've mentioned a couple times. Started yesterday. I thought it was going to go in because he hit that part of the crossbar where sometimes it just slams down. Instead, it did slam down, but just to the right of Mettler and out. But Brown was there to clean it up.
And the refs still talking a little bit with the High Point coach. They called it a goal, though, after they talked, and they're going to uphold that.
I would almost say the discussion wasn't about a goal, but something else, because the High Point coach is still talking to the penalty box and looking for maybe a stat. So I think the coach is more looking to see something in lines of one of his players' stats, but we'll never know. We're not included in this information. Shot thrown in on Pudelski, just kind of a dump in on him. Shot out in front as Ringwald tried to get a stick on it, but just missed, as Brown, who just scored, is coming the other way and was the man to get a stick on it. His shot gets past Mettler, and all of a sudden, a 1-goal deficit is a 1-goal advantage, as I believe that's Brown's hat trick. He was involved earlier in the night, of course, had the last goal. I think officially penned down as his 2nd goal, but he's been active everywhere, Ren.
Yeah, he's been an incredible skater this game. He's been bringing it down, getting some breakaway opportunities for High Point, which they didn't really get yesterday. And it's definitely changed the outcome of this game, as we're seeing with them now. High Point now with the lead. And that was an excellent shot. Got a little piece of Mettler, but fell right into the back of the net.
And that's the first time I would say that Mettler has really just let one get by him, as that one was kind of right on his body, right under the glove, right over the blocker. Now Barry coming the other way. Tries the wraparound. Didn't actually let it go. Now Lebrecq on the other side. He'll throw one in. Glove down towards the ice. Thrown in the high slot. No one's home. That was the first one Mettler really let by him. A savable puck, Ren.
I would agree with that.
That's not a save you're expected to make every day, but I'm sure where this game is at right now, he would want that one back. This pass in the high slot gets chipped towards Pudelski. He tries to cover, however, it's sticked all the way out to center ice. So now, you mentioned, Ren, these Dogs have never had the lead in a close game. Now they're going to have to fight back. So didn't do what they want to do. Now they have to do what they have to do.
It's a great way to put it.
This is really a team that feels like they can't lose this game. They were rotating guys because they felt like Kennesaw State tomorrow was a big one that they needed to win. They thought maybe they could get by High Point. Ooh, big hit right on the glass here as Wooten's laid out. That was in the head and neck area, and I am very, very surprised that there was no penalty on that. But we mentioned KSU tomorrow. That's a game that the Dawgs feel like they need to win. They thought maybe they could get by with some different lines today. Now they're going to have to dig deep for it.
Yeah, they don't have their normal goal scorers in, like we mentioned earlier, so they're going to have to find some guys who are going to step up and score.
This slap shot goes just wide. Good opportunity there. High Point chasing the puck will look to break out. Dawgs went for a partial change, and a pass back in front of Mettler almost didn't work out. Now puck comes back the other way. A little bit of just back and forth here, maybe as these teams feel each other out for this last 10 minutes. However, High Point skates in, tries to toe drag, does Ringstad. However, he's unable to. But Wren's just still more back and forth. No one breaking through since the 2 goals.
Yeah, there's been 2 themes of the game. One of them's been fighting in the neutral zone and going back and forth. And the other's been getting great shots on. And they seem to be alternating which type of play they're going to be playing.
Dawgs now on their offensive side. They pick it up behind the net, try and throw it in the slot. No one's home, though. Now High Point coming back the other way. Brown with it. He lets one loose. It goes into the skates of a Dawg. Big hit in the high slot. Looking to clear out of the Dawgs. It stays in, though. Thrown into the corner and sent around the boards. If High Point could add one here, they're in the driver's seat, most definitely, already having the advantage 5-4. This one did not leave the zone, just held the blue line. Dawgs will chip it in and try to get something going, but High Point dominating so far this period. Puck is on the blue line. Torrin Smith dumps it in, gets the rest of his line out there as Barry and Lebrecht come on. Barry chasing, now Lebrecht on the other side. Lebrecht gets the turnover out in front for Barry, just sticked away, pass didn't get through cleanly. Wooten tries to keep it at the blue line. Now High Point kind of cherry picking with Fallon. He'll have to beat out Price. Price gets there first. Fallon picks up the puck, though, tries to get around, and the wraparound laying out in front, just missing, was the extra man, Will Clark, coming on. Still bouncing around. Now at the goal line. In the corner. Cleared around the board. Smith will be the first to it. He carries it out. Barry wanted it. Instead, Smith will dump it in. Then Smith and Barry chase, one on each side. Smith misses the hip check. And now High Point maybe has an advantage here with the 3-on-2. Drop pass. Pass into the slot, covered by Mettler. We apologize for that little bit without a mic as we were trying to, again, to fix the camera as it's had some technical issues. Dawgs have had some offensive zone time after their good forechecking. This one tipped out, though. Good job by the defenseman to hold down the fort as Steckel is able to dump it back in, and we'll see a full line change from the Dawgs. As now High Point comes on 3-on-2 into the chest of Mettler. He's unable to bring it in, though. Luckily, the rebound doesn't get to a High Point Panther if you're a Dawgs fan. Now skating in is Steckel. He loses the puck, and now High Point comes back the other way. Good pass. Tries to step around the defender, does High Point, but Price breaks it up. And now in the ticking seconds, Ren, you have to think the Dawgs have to start doing something different.
Yeah, it's still going back and forth, and they just need some time in their offensive zone to find a shot or a breakaway, as that's honestly been working a little better for them.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get a clean breakaway. It's been a lot of dump and chase, which was working earlier, but High Point has seemed to reach a new level of physicality and speed that maybe they didn't have earlier as that puck came flying towards us. I think everyone's all right. Fan has a puck.
Great souvenir to take home.
Exactly right. I don't see that puck over there anymore, Ren.
Yeah, I think someone took that one from the first period.
Yeah, so the puck that came close to us is gone, so no free puck for us anymore. As this shot off the draw was blocked it down by the defender. And again, another dump and chase, Ren, that just High Point gets clean possession of quick. And now the Dawgs are left with 3 men on the other side of the ice, and High Point has a 3-on-2. Just misses that pass, so they're able to recover. And now maybe here's the break we were looking for. A 3-on-2 for the Dawgs. Wooten, back to him. Shot just blockered up out of play.
And that was what they've been looking for that whole time, is trying to get something like that. A nice breakaway attempt. Shot just goes a little high, though, as I think Podolsky got his shoulder on that one to knock it over the glass.
Podolsky did a good job to get a piece of that. You're exactly right. That it was just crisp passing. Wooten to Chad, back to Wooten. Wooten had an angle, and I think he made a good shot. Well placed, just Podolsky got the piece of it that he needed. Now Wooten's got the puck again. He likes to let them loose, but this time it was sticked away before he could. It'll come back to him, and he'll have to establish control back in his defensive end. D-to-D pass, back to Wooten. Now to center ice, where Smith couldn't get clean control. So back behind the net, Wooten looks to get it up the boards, but High Point with good forechecking here, not allowing anything.
Yeah, strong forecheck from High Point here, which is really what they needed to not allow UGA back in.
This one almost gets its way to Metler, still behind the goal. So it feels like Georgia's had possession this whole time, and they couldn't clear until Smith finally got it out there. Now bad turnover, and Jack Barry can't hold up as Lebrecq on the forecheck was just offsides. There, Barry needs to have a little more realization, I would say.
Yeah, that was a little tough, as he thought that you might have a 2-on-2, which is not great, but certainly a better opportunity than what's been going for the Dawgs so far.
Yeah, Lebrecq needs to skate a little harder to get back, but Barry also needs a little more self-control and hold up at the blue line for just an extra second. As this shot just goes wide. It beat Metler glove side. But went past him, and now puck blown dead.
Yeah, it did beat Metler on that glove side, as he was sort of reacting to it more than seeing it, and if the goal had been just about a foot wider, it certainly would have been a goal for the Panthers.
So face off to the right of Metler. High Point wins it, clean win. They look to move it down the boards. Fighting for it is Georgia. They send it back around, no one's home. Looking for a pass into the slot. It made its way through, but no one was home. This should be waved off, and it is, so no icing. Fired back up. Looking for a turnover is Georgia. As time ticks away, it's not on their side. Steckel, huge hit in the boards, but big man on big man power as Grady Murphy stood strong. I think, Ren, you saw that Steckel lowered his shoulder, and you were expecting that big hit.
That was two very large individuals hitting each other against the glass, and it moved the whole boards.
See, Steckel laid it into him, but another big man took it. Backdoor pass not found, and now blown dead as there's a penalty hooking on High Point. And Ren, wouldn't you say this is exactly what the Ice Dogs need?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is like a dream come true for them, honestly, is you now have a man-up opportunity here. with a few minutes left. And after the penalty expires, you'll still have another minute or so. And Mettler on the other end is also looking about potentially leaving the net. Probably won't do it during the penalty, but
Well, I don't know.
he might.
I would say you're correct. During the first part of the penalty, if they don't score, he's certainly going to stay there. Well, no matter what, if they score, he'll stay there. But maybe as we approach the end of this power play, we might see him leave for a 6-on-4 situation.
It will be interesting to see what Jacobs decides.
It would be quite a risky play, but so face off is won by High Point. They're instantly able to clear and start their penalty kill. Remember, Dawgs had a power play goal earlier. We'll look if they can get another. They need one as they trail by 1, 5-4 with just under 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Chad takes it in the corner, looks back up the boards. Barry able to get it back down, and High Point able to clear as Wooten couldn't throw it to the ground in time. Now Dawgs looking to get clean zone again. So this is a different penalty kill than we've seen from High Point. They're much more aggressive right now. They're obviously not chasing into the defensive zone, but they were almost letting the Dawgs earlier just skate through the neutral zone. Now, not even close.
Absolutely, almost not letting them into the zone at all. And it's definitely affected so far.
In the high slot, looking to pass back. Chad with it. He'll throw one at the net. It makes its way through. Save made by Pudelski. He's sprawled out, but 2 blocker saves keep High Point in front. Good keep by Chad. He kicks it in. Now looking to do something with it. It's thrown to the corner. Wooten will be the first there. Digging for it. Good stick as it's rimmed around the boards. Barry tries to throw it back. No one's home. Good keep by Chad again. He walks through his man, looking for something down low. It's gotten there. No one's in the slot. They need traffic out in front. Ringwald now looking for someone out in front. Backdoor pass, shot blockered away. Good save by Pudelski. Time running low on the power play. And now High Point comes away with it. This will certainly kill off the power play. Could be more. The step around not successful. Power play is over. Dawgs with just 60 seconds remaining. High Point with clean control in the air offensive zone. Under 60 seconds now. This line has been successful in scoring earlier. Lebrecq on there, skating in, can't get to it. Gets back, shot. Price can't get it through the traffic. In the corner, walking in, shot saved. Pudelski stands strong. That near post has been his favorite as he's been able to hug it and keep it in with his blockers. We have a timeout here, High Point. Ren, what do you think the discussion is here on both sides?
Yeah, for UGA, it's just going to be keeping it in the offensive zone. I mean, you really have no time to set anything up if it leaves the zone. And for High Point, it's staying really tight. They've been doing a really good job in the past few minutes of not allowing many shots to get to Pudelski, as many of the defenders have been blocking the shots early on and not overcommitting to anything that the Dawgs do. And yeah, just the fundamentals for High Point is you don't want to allow an easy shot here or an easy goal.
We'll see if the Dawgs can get traffic out in front, as every time so far recently, Pudelski's been able to see the puck. He's been able to save it.
And UGA has pulled Mettler now, as it'll be a 6-on-5.
So they'll try and do something with the draw. If they lose this could very well be the game. They do win it. They need to keep possession now. Good job by Barry to step down behind the net, looking, circling for someone. No bad passes can be made. It could be the end of the game for this D3 Georgia team. Pass out in front, can't find the tape. 25 seconds remaining. This shot doesn't get through, just goes wide. Barry with the keep. He's digging, Lebrecq's behind him. And this one comes out. This will likely be the end of the game. Wooten has to skate fast to get that icing. Good job by him to draw as much time as he can. It's going to be about 10 seconds remaining.
And thankful that the the Dawgs are thankful that the icing was not ruled off and that they did get that, because otherwise that pretty much would have been the end of the game. But now with another chance for a face-off in their own offensive zone.
Yeah, they must win this. This is a must-win face-off. And likely an instant shot off the draw if they do win. And, of course, the ref is going to take his time. Just trying to fall on the puck is High Point. They don't win it, but they take it back to their boards. Looking for something out in front. Shot! Saved by Pudelski, bouncing around, and High Point just sits on it. And I think the refs are going to pause this as the clock in the stadium here is at zeros, but I believe they said someone covered it well before zeros were hit, Ren.
There was a shot right there in the slot that it's so hard to see, as there were 11 bodies right there blocking our view, but I do agree with you that the refs are going to maybe add a couple seconds to the game here, saying that someone covered it.
We'll see how much time they add. As I said, officially there's zeros on the board, so we'll have to see. This is an exciting finish. High Point looking for their win. It would be their 5th on the season to move to 5-11.
Looks like they're adding 1.5 seconds.
So it's just got to be a shot off the face-off. It is taken, but it doesn't get through. A late save by Pudelski ends the hopes for these D3 Georgia Ice Dogs. High Point will swarm him, but that's it here from the Classic Center Foundry Pavilion, at least for this game. We encourage you, if you're a Georgia fan or even if you're a High Point fan, to watch some more free hockey over on the Georgia Hockey Channel as the D1 team takes on Alabama. Final thoughts on this High Point 5-4 victory over Georgia, Ren?
Yeah, tough loss for the Dawgs here, especially after a 10-0 win. You kind of think that you're going to rest your guys and maybe still come out with a nice win and get some other guys some goals or whatnot, but just some hard play by High Point, and they got the job done today, as the Dawgs look forward to hopefully forget about this one and look forward to the game tomorrow at 11.
So final score, 5-4, High Point wins. Thank you all for watching. For Ren Grimsley, I've been Joe Kopsho.